Good morning, adepts. Welcome back. Hope you have gone through my previous video. In the previous video, the introduction to chapter number 2, that is from trade to territory, and we discussed in detail about the sea route discovered by Vasco da Gama. And because of the discovery of sea route, several European trading companies, mercantile companies, landed in India. Portuguese, French, Dutch, English. And how the discovery of sea route made, or rather changed, the history of India, and how we are suffered under British colonial masters. Today, let us continue discussion from where we stopped yesterday. So, this regarding trade route we discussed in detail yesterday or in my previous class. Hope you are able to get my point. And of course, we discussed about the meaning of mercantile or trading. Okay, a business or an enterprise that makes profit primarily through trade, buying goods for a lesser price and selling those goods for a higher price. So this was the point where we stopped yesterday. Today let us continue the topic. East India Company comes east. Now whenever we speak about East India Company refers to the British East India Company. So the eastern part of India, rather when we see the world map from the Europe, India or Asia is in the eastern side. That's the reason why East India Company comes to east. Now whenever we speak about East India Company is just like what we have today, Tata, Birla, Ambani Group. Now Tata, Birla, Ambani Group, they are all trading companies. The same way British East India Company or the English East India Company was a private trading company. So let me make clear that British East India Company was a private trading company. That means you should understand there is no link rather between the British government in earlier days, means before 1857. In 1600, the East India Company acquired a charter from the ruler of England, Queen Elizabeth. Now what do you mean by charter? Charter is nothing but an order. Take for example, whenever you want to go on an outpass, then you require permission from the school authorities. When you get a permission for your outpass, then you can move out of the school for a particular or a specific days. The same way those days, if any company in Britain wanted to acquire or travel abroad, there is a requirement to take permission from whom? Permission from Queen Elizabeth I. So the Queen Elizabeth I granting the sole right to trade to the east. So East India Company got the permission or from the Queen Elizabeth. So East India Company got the permission from Queen Elizabeth for what? For sole right to trade. Sole means complete. so the complete right to trade to the east. This meant that no other trading group in England could compete with East India Company. So East India Company almost monopoly of trading in the sense they made sure that they got permission from Queen Elizabeth I and ensured that no other company gets the permission for the trade. That's what. So sole right to get the permission to trade. With this charter, the company could venture across the oceans. Means with the permission of Queen Elizabeth I, the British East India Company got a permission to establish their trade in East. And they started venturing into new lands from which they could buy goods at cheap price and carry them back to Europe, sell at higher prices. So always remember, trade is, if you want to make the trade as a profitable trade, this is very important. That is the cost of production and selling price. The cheaper price they have to purchase and sell at a higher price. So if you sell at a higher price, purchase at a cheaper price, definitely your margin of profit is more. That's the reason why the British East India Company carry the goods from east and sell those goods at a higher price. The company did not have to fear competition from other trading companies. Can you remember why? Why there was no competition? Because they had a sole right of trade. So definitely when you don't have competition, whatever the price you fix, that the fine. Imagine when you going to purchase a ballpoint pen and the only one ballpoint pen is available in the market. Naturally, whatever the price fixed by him, that is the final. So East India Company had no fear of competition. So the mercantile or the trading companies of those days made profit primarily by excluding competition. So try to understand this statement. Today how we make profit? Today how companies make profit? They make profit by selling products for the competitive price. One. Second, they make profit by either reducing cost of production or by any other marketing strategy. That is how. But those days what they used to do, they exclude, means they make sure that there's no competition in the market. That's what. So they could buy for a cheap and sell for costly. That is what the major thing which they used to do. The Royal Charter, however, could not prevent other European powers. Now what you would understand, Queen Elizabeth granted permission to the English East India Company belongs to England. But the Queen Elizabeth cannot control the neighboring nations like France, Portuguese, Dutch. So because Portuguese already landed in Goa in the year 1510. So 90 years before British landed in India. That is, British landed in India in 1600. But Portuguese landed in Goa in 1510. That means 90 years before British arrival, Portuguese, they established, or rather well established, their company in Goa. So when Portuguese and English started making profit, naturally the neighboring nations like Dutch or France, this Germany even later stages, they started venturing into the trade. So the competition, that is what it says, that the Royal Charter, however, could not prevent other European powers from entering Eastern market. So they cannot stop other European powers. They can stop only the companies belongs to England, but they cannot stop the neighboring or other European powers. By the time the first English ships sailed down to the west coast of Africa, the round of Cape of Good Hope, if you remember the tip of Africa, South Africa, Cape of Good Hope, and crossed Indian Ocean. The Portuguese had already established their presence in the western coast of India. That is what I said. The Portuguese established their base very strong in Goa, because Portuguese captured Goa by defeating Adil Shahis of Bijapur in the year 1510. In fact, it was Vasco da Gama, the Portuguese explorer, Portuguese sailor, who discovered sea route to India in year 1498. Please remember the date. Vasco da Gama landed in Calicut. That is in Kerala. After Vasco da Gama, his successors, Alfonso de Albuquerque, defeated Adil Shahis of Bijapur and captured Goa, that is in the year 1510. So discover the sea route by Portuguese sailor Vasco da Gama in the year 1498. Please write down the important points. By the early 17th century, the Dutch too were exploring the possibilities in the Indian Ocean. Soon French traders arrived on the scene. Now you see here, how many European companies you can see here? The European companies which you can see, one, that is English. The second one which we speak, that is Portuguese. Then third is Dutch, and of course fourth is French. So English, Portuguese, Dutch and French. So the four European powers. So out of these four, Portuguese landed in 1510, then English landed in 1600, along with them, and of course Dutch landed in India, but Dutch established their East India Company in the year 1602, and French established their East India Company in the year 1664. So French, Dutch, English and Portuguese. I repeat, so French, Dutch, Portuguese and English, they were the trading or the European trading companies in India. The problem was that all the companies were interested in buying same thing. Now you understand it. Why they were interested? They were interested in only in few commodities which were known for their qualities. What are those commodities? The fine qualities of cotton, silk produced in India had a big market in Europe. Pepper, clove, cardamom and cinnamon. So they too had a great demand. So spices, especially pepper, clove, so all spices, they had a great deal of demand in the European market. So spices, apart from spices, the fine qualities of cotton and silk produced in India had a big market in Europe. So let it be French East India Company, English East India Company, Dutch East India Company or Portuguese, they all wanted to purchase these products, cotton, silk and other spices. Competition amongst the European companies inevitably pushed up the prices of these goods could be purchased, and this reduced the profit that could be earned. Now try to understand why the profit of Europeans reduced here. Because among European companies, competition increased to purchase the same commodity naturally. So European companies, one after another, they were willing to pay higher prices for the commodities like cotton, silk and spices. When they were forced to pay higher prices, naturally the profit margin of those companies reduced. The only way of trading company to flourish to eliminate the rival competition. This is the real story. Now what happened? No European company wanted to compromise with their profit. Means they don't want their profit to be reduced. If you don't want your profit to be reduced, what is the only solution? Solution is eliminate, destroy the rival. So the war started among the European companies. So by eliminating rival competitors, the urge to secure market therefore led to fierce battle between trading companies. So this led to the battles. You may be heard about Rani Abbaka. Those students who read Kannada literature. Ullala, Rani Abbaka. Ullala is a small town near Mangalore. So Rani Abbaka, so the first queen to protest against European traders. You may have heard about Kittur Rani Chennamma or Jhansi Rani Lakshmi Bai. But much before them, Rani Abbaka, she successfully chased down the Portuguese sailors. The great story of Rani Abbaka, if you Google it, definitely you will get it. So Ullala Rani Abbaka, she fought against Portuguese, but less known history, because you may be remembering Jhansi Rani Lakshmi Bai or Kittur Rani Chennamma, but much before that also several brave Indian women, they fought against, or Indian queen who fought against the European trading companies. Through the 17th and 18th century, they regularly sank each other's ship, blockaded routes and prevented rival ships from moving supplies. So what they done? They started blocking the other ships. They started make it sunk. All those things were very common scene. Trades was carried on arms and trading posts were protected through fortification. So if you remember, you studied last year what is called the fortified towns, which because garrison towns, if you remember. So fortification was done. That is what you can see huge forts today. Why the fortification was done? Fortification was done mainly for the purpose of securing or protecting their trade. This effort to fortify the settlement and carry the profitable trade also led intense conflict with the local rulers. Now imagine if some foreigner or someone come from outside to your land, started constructing his own boundary wall in your land. So what will be your reaction? So naturally, when European trading companies started constructing huge boundary walls or the fortifications, the local rulers, they rebelled. They definitely involved in the conflict. That's the reason why several battles were fought. Out of these famous battles were Battle of Plassey and Battle of Buxar. The company therefore found it difficult to separate the trade from politics. So the company, that's why, separated both issues. One, the trade, the second one, politics. So let us check what happened as a result of fortification, as a result of intense conflict. Let us check that in the next class. So cadets, please jot down the points. It's very important because this chapter is very interesting, and moreover this chapter is very useful for your future references, because a lot of battles, important dates we remember in this particular chapter. So take care. Wish you a fantastic day. See you in next class. Till then, take care. Bye.